next year when the cap goes up and everyone has money to spend. And we know what NHL GMs do when they have money to spend.
Frank thinks
they throw it out there.
Said on the DFO rundown today that GMs he's talked to have it at about $90 million next year.
That's where I think even if you're the Oilers, you have a good team as is. Do you really want to lock into a long-term contract? Like, you try to have even extra cash come off the books next year, where then you can go out there and really help this team, where you also still have a chance at winning this year.
Yeah, and I think for a guy like Connor Brown, like, it just makes too much sense. And again, we played the Gazdic clip yesterday. Like, the fit is right there. Nuge Lover said the Athletic had Connor Brown to the Oilers at 1 year, 1.5. Great. If you get it 1.5, I mean, get him at 1. Who cares? Cheaper the better on this guy. You're going to load it up with bonuses and he'll get his money that way. And he's also trying to set himself up for, like you said, Maddie, getting a bigger deal next offseason. Let's flash up. So this will be Liam's. This is your final roster, right, Liam? This is the way you have it all diced up.
I think so.
Defense. Yep. So like the forward group. No, again, we walked through this. Holloway's on your forward group. Derek Ryan's down there. He's resigned. David Camp on your fourth line. I like that David Camp signing. Actually, I think that's a pretty good shout. Then I'm assuming in this, your extra forward is Lavoie.
Yes. So right. The cap's going to go up $1 million, right? That's the rumor. So that'll give me room for Lavoie.
Okay.
So Broberg is not.
I was going to say Broberg.
Broberg is in the minus.
Because you're going with, again, the tightest roster possible.
The tightest roster. And also, like,
that's a mistake, I think.
Broberg, to me, like, he's not going to play.
Unless you're going 11-7 on some nights.
Sure. But even then, he's playing like 4 minutes. So I just think Broberg in the minors, if there's no room for him within that 6, is a better place for him. I'd rather have Marcus Niemelainen sat in the bleachers and
better to be playing games, playing top minutes, as opposed to sitting in a press box watching NHL games.
Yeah, and what is Broberg, 22?
He was drafted like 4 years ago.
Whatever.
I don't know. I just think it's shit or get off the pot time.
I don't know. I'm not fully there yet because he's still good. Like, when he comes into the team, he plays a role. The others just don't have a fit for him right now. I'd rather he was down in Bakersfield dominating everything, and if he did come up and pushes someone out the lineup, then that's good.
Or next year he's taking over.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, if you're dealing with that massive cap, then it's all of a sudden you've got a spot next year.
Yeah.
Cody Ceci can go and he could jump in.
Mulick says they both require waivers. Would Broberg already require waivers next year? I'm double checking Cap.
I don't think so.
Cap Friendly says he's still waivers exempt. So,
still on his
because he's still on his ELC too. But where is Lavoie?
Lavoie is not, because he's
not. He's going to be entering his 23-year-old season here. So he turns 23 in September. Yeah. Okay. So Lavoie wouldn't be. So you'd have to keep him on your roster somehow. So I think you need to have the extra spots. Aaron, if you can flash up mine. I think mine broken into 2 screenshots, or did I just have one?
Plugged into one.
You put it all on one board. Good man. I have them actually having enough money because, again, I went cheaper on Janmark, which is a big thing. But again, maybe if I'm a little bit under on Janmark, maybe I'm a little over on a piece like Connor Brown. But with the extra D-man and Broberg, and again, I had both Bonino and Taves
so
here.
One's there, one's not.
And one's Lavoie is basically the way it works. You're still going to have enough money, 100 to 200K in leftover cash, which is going to allow you to accrue cap space throughout the year. And come trade deadline time, it makes life a lot easier when you're not in LTIR space. But Tyler Mulick says no changes on the D. That's an L. But I think the point Matt made just hit it on the head. This blue line as constructed has basically gotten you to a Western Conference final and within 2 games of one again this year.
Well, and you didn't have Ekholm for a lot of this. Like Ekholm is full season now with the Edmonton Oilers.
Remember for 4 or 5 months of last season, they were running Nurse Ceci, Bouchard Broberg, and then Kulak and Barry. And however they were dicing those pairings up. But like for the most part, that was it. This is better than the defense you started last season with.
100%. Just right, Ekholm right there. And you also saw the team when Darnell Nurse was getting and playing a bit better once Ekholm came in. He helps out. So does Darnell Nurse have a better season this year because Ekholm's here full time?
Yeah. And again, you can go 11-7 some nights. You have a bunch of options. This blue line, and again, I understand that there's like an itch to like go get Pesce. Again, you give up a first and a prospect for Pesce knowing you can't sign him long-term or knowing he's not open to an extension with a Canadian team long-term. I don't think you do that. And this blue line, again, as constructed, was a point or 2 away from winning the Western Conference in the regular season.
A win away, yeah.
This isn't